Doing well, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Again, if you have a question, which they're coming in, use the raise hand function. First question comes from Jacob Turner.
Hey, what's up, Sam? Offensively, you guys have been a lot more successful this year, finishing off drives and scoring in the red zone when you get down there. Why do you think that is, and how much better does that make you as an offense and as a team when you guys are able to be so successful down there?
Really, I think the biggest part is we're running the football a lot better this year than we were last year. So last year we kind of struggled running the football in the red zone just because people kind of load the box up. And this year I think we've ran the ball exceptionally well in the red zone. So I would probably credit that to the success we're having in the red zone.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, back over to Dina King, please.
Hey, Sam. Just want your thoughts on the opportunity of playing another top 10 team in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously another great opportunity for our team. Obviously the other one, the last top 10 team we played, the game didn't go our way, but this is a great opportunity for our team and our program. It's the last regular season game of the year, so we definitely want to go out with the win. And against a team like Miami, it'll be really good for the trajectory of this program, and it's definitely a game we need to win.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go over to Hunter Nelson.
Hey, Sam. Thanks for joining us. So last year, obviously, one of the bigger wins of the season for you guys was beating this Miami team. And a lot of Miami fans have used that 4th and 17 conversion at the end of the game and your win in general sort of bulletin board material. How do you prepare for a team that sort of has a red circle around your name on the schedule?
I mean, it's no different. I mean, we have our process, and we go through that process every week. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, we're probably a little more pissed off this year playing teams we lost to last year, wanting to get revenge. So I'm sure that's in their heads in Miami. And, they're a really good football team on both sides of the ball. So we definitely got to be prepared to go down there and play a really good football team.
All right, our next question from Luke Buxton. Go ahead, Luke.
Hey, Sam, ask this question to Jeremiah. Kind of competing against a top 10 team in the national spotlight, how has that helped you prepare for this game? And what are some of the lessons you learned against Notre Dame that you're taking as you prepare for Miami?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would just say, like, just how physical the game is when you play teams like this. I mean, Notre Dame played physical all 4 quarters. I mean, if you're not on your A game, if you're not executing perfectly, then you're not going to move the ball on teams like this. That's what we saw in the second half of the Notre Dame game. So we just got to be prepared mentally and just stay locked in for all 4 quarters, because if you're not locked in against really good teams like this, you're not going to move the football. So I would just say making sure we're locked in and executing all 4 quarters.
Okay, Aaron Beard, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, a lot of people are talking about quarterbacks in this game in terms of there's been a lot of attention on you, and D'Eriq King is being pushed as a Heisman candidate by Miami. I'm curious kind of how much you've watched him play and kind of what's your mindset when you go into a game, the sort of the matchup within the matchup where people may compare high-profile quarterbacks in a game like this.
Yeah, I've seen D'Eriq play a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. I don't know him personally, but I think he's a really good football player. He's a really good quarterback. He's fun to watch. He's a lot better passer than I thought he was coming from Houston. So he's really impressed me in the passing game, and obviously he's a great runner. So he's definitely a really good player, and I'm excited for the matchup. I enjoy playing against good quarterbacks. It's a fun game. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty cool matchup to go against great players like him, and I'm excited for it.
All right, let's go over to Gregory Hall.
Hey, Sam, what stood out to you about Miami's defense watching them on film? I think either Mac or Phil said the 2 defensive ends might be the 2 best defensive ends that y'all face all season.
Yeah, I think the 2 defensive ends might be the 2 best defensive players we've seen all season. They're both really good players. They have a lot of TFLs. They have the ability to sack the quarterback. So when you have a guy like that on both sides of the ball, it makes it hard. Not only in the run game, but in the passing game. So we just need to go do a good job up front and make sure we're playing physical on those guys. And our O-line's done a really good job preparing for that this week, and I feel good about that matchup. But yeah, all around the field, they have a lot of guys with speed. That's kind of what their defense is, speed. And then Manny Diaz does a really good job showing different looks and bringing a lot of pressure. So we got to be prepared for it.
All right, last question for Sam comes from Ross Martin.
Hey, Sam, yeah, one of those players, Quincy Roche, I know Max said yesterday that UNC was kind of recruiting him to come in this year. Do you know anything about that situation with Roche possibly being a Tar Heel this year?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I do know I think they were trying to get him here when he decided he was going to leave Temple because we think he's a really good player and we saw that when we played them. But honestly, I don't know too much as far as the recruiting him goes. All I heard was probably about what you guys heard, or just some talk.
Gotcha. And kind of an off-topic question here. Do you do any like media training to be so poised with your words and how you kind of answer questions? Is that something you've done maybe before you arrived to UNC, or something that's developed since you've been here, or maybe through your recruitment, that how you approach media?
Yeah, I would credit that to Jeremy Sharp. This was probably something I struggled at, just talking to media when I first got here, and we put a lot of time in because we knew there's kind of going to be a spotlight on the quarterback. So I put a lot of time in spending time with Jeremy, and he's really just kind of critiqued after every interview. He critiques it, and I just try to get better at it every single time. So yeah, we have the best guy in the business with Jeremy Sharp here. So I would credit him.
What type of areas do you think you need to improve on? Because you were interviewed a lot as a recruit. And I interviewed you when you were a sophomore in high school. So like, where has you improved, or what you try to add to your media expertise?
Yeah, I think back in my younger days, I didn't really say a whole lot. I kind of just kept saying the same thing. Then just little things like I say a couple words like over and over again. You guys might know what those are, but I try to limit those, and Jeremy does a good job of making sure I cut those words out. But yeah, just trying to give a little bit more to the media, because in high school I didn't really give interviews a whole lot, and just trying to really just make sure what you want, make sure you have a message that you want the media to hear, and just trying to take it from there.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yep.
All right, I guess Luke Buxton has one more question. We'll go back to Luke.
Follow up for that, Sam. Does Jeremy give you any special training to answer questions from Ross?
He doesn't, but he probably should, because you never know what you're gonna get with Ross, man. Could be anything.
All right, I immediately regret going back to Luke. All right, guys, we're all done here today. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Sam.